At what age is a man considered old and not attractive? Answering this question is hard, and some men look excellent despite their age. In fact, many men who take care of themselves can live well into their 50s, looking their very best despite this. Men still find it hard to believe they could be attractive as they age, and in fact older men have it all going for him. If you are a single older man, this video will not only be a great confidence booster. In fact, it'll almost certainly show you how you've been underselling yourself with some newfound confidence and an understanding of how attractive you are. Dating is much easier, but first, you need to understand why men have an advantage over women. When they age, older men have more success than older women. If there are any women out there watching this video, you might not like what we have to say. In fact, this might sting a little bit. However, older men have a far greater advantage when seeking partners. The main reason for this is that women bring less and less to the table when they age. Yes, she might have a great job and make some good money, but nature is cruel in some cases. Whenever a man meets a woman, he obviously wants to have children, especially if he hasn't had the opportunity to have children yet. Whilst most men can still have children at any age, even though it becomes harder, women can't. You have to understand that the dangers of pregnancy become much higher as a woman ages. And this could very well mean that she won't have the capacity for it. Despite a woman's perfect looks, when she cannot have children, men are put off. Secondly, women who have been fooling around and dedicated their lives to fun with other guys often find that it haunts them when they grow older. Perfect example is when a man's interested in a woman, he works hard and dedicates his youth to creating an empire or legacy for himself and his partner. Unfortunately, the partner he chooses wants to go out, get smashed and have a little fun, as you'd expect. This clash of interests often leads to a massive misunderstanding, which could potentially even ruin the best relationship. However, a few years down the line, once she's had all her fun, she might still remember this guy who had his sights set on his goals and continued working towards him. But it's too late, see? He's probably moved on, or she's not his type anymore, since she's lost some of her beauty by having a fun life. Often dating multiple guys, he's taken care of himself. This is an automatic shift of power for him. So being an older guy is a great thing, and women truly find it attractive when you've spent your youth building something and taking care of yourself. The problem is that men don't realize they're attractive, and this is where the rest of the video comes in. You see, there are 12 undeniable signs you are attractive that I bet you didn't know. It'll be a massive confidence boost for you. That is when women naturally feel comfortable around you. One of the best signs to know that you're attractive is to see how a woman is around you if she feels comfortable and doesn't mind when you touch her or begin a conversation. You're probably more attractive than you think. Women tend to put a lot of space between themselves as the guys they don't find attractive. If you ever go out to a bar and you're not attractive, you'd quickly see how women move away to some other place, or she tries to move to a different social group. The reason for this is she doesn't want to go through all the frustration of rejecting you, so she makes it easier on herself by simply making sure you don't have the opportunity to make any advances, and there's a little bit of space between the two of you. What'll happen when she considers you attractive is different. She might still reject you when you make some advances, but she'll be more likely to give you a shot at talking to her. Another very important thing to note is that she will show you all the classic signs of attraction if she likes you. We've created a few excellent videos that perfectly show how women react when she's attracted. Make sure to check them out if you suspect a woman might be into you. Now, 2 compliments. One of the best signs that you're attractive is when you get compliments. This can be any compliment. Women very rarely give out good compliments to men, and they often reserve it for when they truly like a guy. Why might you ask? Well, the days are giving people cordial compliments and just going about your day are long gone. The world is entering a loneliness pandemic, and much like people are starving in some third world countries, people are starved for attention and affection. If a woman gives a compliment to a guy, she might consider it meaningless, but in his mind it's different. The guy might think she finds him attractive, and now he actively pursues her. She must reject him and she learns a lesson, only to compliment the guy she's willing to date. Nowadays, the probability of someone liking you if they compliment you is quite high. You see, a woman will compliment you on things like your grooming, in even some of your style. As an older man, these compliments are golden, and they truly show that you appeal to a different age group. If you happen to meet a woman and you see that she's complimenting you often, It's one of the most powerful signs that you are attractive. As an older guy, number 3. Women stare at you. Have you ever gone to the shopping mall or to a restaurant and you see a woman staring at you? In fact, she might not make it obvious, but every time you look in her direction, you notice her staring, or at least lingering before she turns away. Well, human nature suggests that we want to look at things that are attractive to us. Women also adhere to these guidelines of life. If you notice this happening more frequently, it's one of the best signs that you're attractive to a woman. Keep in mind that not every woman will react to this, but the signs of attraction will be quite high. Number 4, your advice is in high demand. This one might be a bit confusing for many of you watching. In fact, you might think that women will approach any older man and ask him for advice or how she can perhaps do something. This is not the case. If a guy doesn't look good, psychology has proven that unless you know him personally, your mind concludes he is untrustworthy. That's kind of biased and actually unfair. But hey, we didn't write the rules for human behavior. Women will rarely approach unattractive people they don't know for advice. She'll generally see them as creepy and try to avoid them altogether. However, many women will want advice. And when she approaches you for it, you need to know that something is up. Now, this doesn't mean she's interested in you, but due to your looks, she's far more comfortable to strike up a conversation and perhaps even ask you for some advice. It can be a very hard thing to understand, but life is rather messed up, and how people treat one another, and they can also be very brutal. Number 5, you are told you are handsome. It's not always necessary for women to beat around the bush. By now, you've probably seen that many women out there have bigger and stronger personalities than some men. In fact, it's widely believed that women also now have more confidence than men. It might not be deep-rooted confidence, but it'll be noticeable in public. Thanks to this rise in confidence among women, they might approach you directly. One of the best compliments you can receive as an older man is when a woman respectfully tells you that you are handsome. This is truly the number 1 sign when it comes to figuring out what you look like. In the eyes of a woman, if you happen to hear this, you'll also understand that this specific person is attracted to you as well. One of the best things you can do in such a situation is to perhaps even pursue her. The confidence boost you get should spur you on to approach the woman you like. If you're attractive, everything just becomes easier. Number 6, women ask if you work out. Another great compliment is when women ask if you work out. It's harder for older men to build up enough muscle mass and to compete with some of the youngsters. Unfortunately, we're also compared to some of these younger guys, and it might seem a little unfair, but when a woman asks you if you work out, or she asks about your fitness routine, it's a good sign of attraction. Some people have a little bit of emotional intelligence left and won't ask an overweight 500-pound person if they work out. It's simply an insult. But when you notice someone looking good, you might drop this question. So now you can see when presented with this question, it is a major compliment. Number 7, women ask if you're married. Another sign of attraction is when she asks you about your current relationship status. Once again, you need to understand this by looking at how women think. You see, women love self-preservation, and their decisions often center around this. If she hadn't interested in a guy, she doesn't give a hell if he's in a relationship or not. But when you are an attractive man like yourself, these questions have an actual meaning. Is trying to figure out if you're available. Why would she try to figure out if you're available? Well, she's interested in you. Whenever you get this question, it's a big sign that you're more attractive than you think. Number 8, she plays games. We didn't really think that this one should be on the signs in this video, but when you think about it, it is something really important. When it comes to showing attraction, very little ever changes from high school, where 2 people bully one another if they like each other. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not like bullying someone that hurt them, but rather just teasing the other person. Once you entered the real world, this never changed. But now women just play games to see how you respond. One of the most notable games is the push-pull. She might pull you in either physically or emotionally, only to push you away once again. If you happen to notice these games, she not only finds you attractive, but also shows interest. Number 9. Women are highly responsive. As difficult as life has become, women will always make time for the guy she likes. In fact, she's more likely to sacrifice something else rather than allowing it to intervene with your relationship. What you're bound to notice is that women are responsive. When you're talking, she doesn't seem like she wants to get away, and she might even entertain the conversation. But where it really gets clear you're attractive is over text messaging. Life's busy, and people don't have time to text all day. But when feelings of attraction are involved, she will increase her response times despite anything else happening. It's a great sign of attraction. 10 women laugh at your jokes. If you happen to be a natural jester, and people simply find you funny, it might not necessarily mean attraction. Take the television Chandler Bing as an example. Chandler is a great charmer, and tends to always be the funny guy. But this doesn't mean women find him attractive. However, a calm guy who doesn't focus on being funny will also have a great sense of humor. If you're this guy and women laugh at your jokes, it's probably because they find you somewhat attractive in a few ways. But there's another deeper secret. You see, women will always look at the person they like. If someone tells a joke, if you notice, she's looking to see how you react before reacting herself. She definitely admires you. A woman who likes you will often see you as the funniest and most respectable guy in the room. 11, she tries to get you to open up. When it comes to opening up to women, we advise men to always err on the side of caution. Women are not to be trusted with their most vulnerable weaknesses, and many simply lose interest once they find them out. The process of getting there can often reveal a lot more about women. As well, when she takes the time to ask you these personal questions, she's sacrificing some of her own selfish needs. This is not only a sign of attraction, but also deep interest. Whenever a woman shows a deep level of interest in a guy, it means she's interested. This automatically means that you're probably more attractive than originally anticipated. No, 12 women don't freak out if you touch them. The world is crazy. Let's be honest with each other. Whenever a man touches a woman today, it's a big risk and you don't know how she might react. But women notice that guys are not that keen to make the move, and they've now begun taking the reins. In fact, you might notice a woman touching you instead, as a way of breaking the ice. Whenever she does touch you like this, it becomes a little more clear that she's very comfortable around you. Physical touch is a massive boundary to cross with women, but when it happens, the attraction is a sure thing. Being old doesn't mean you're not attractive. It's only men who have low self-esteem who feel like this. Donald Trump is not a very attractive man. But do you think he thinks that by having more confidence, you also become more attractive? However, women also show signs when they like a guy. We recommend watching this next video to find out what signs a woman shows when she's attracted to you.